Did you feel after the match with Egypt, Argentina starting losing reputation? Even New York mayor mentioned that Egypt were robbed.
Players of Egypt getting robbed again and again, yeah.
Maybe he's not the only guy in the government, because FBI just started an investigation about money laundering issue in Argentina Football Association. This is just to make Argentina winner because it's a marketing, this is a business.
Welcome back to Ball Archive. Today, we're talking about the loudest theory in football right now. The idea that FIFA is personally rigging the World Cup so Lionel Messi can win it. Every big Argentina performance now comes with the same comment section. Half the replies are amazed. The other half are already typing corrupt, scripted, fixed. And weirdly, it doesn't matter what actually happens on the pitch. Argentina wins? Rigged. Argentina loses a 50-50 call? Also rigged. There is no version of events where the ref gets a normal human decision wrong. It's always a conspiracy.
الحكم no fair, no fair. Referee no fair. ظالم ظلم مبين وواضح. بيضيع مجهود بلد كاملة من أول الماتش هو جاي علينا.
So today we're doing this properly. We're going match by match, decision by decision, and checking what the actual laws of the game say versus what the timeline says. Grab a drink, this one's long. Let's get into it.
Before the specific incidents, it's worth asking, why does this theory have so much oxygen right now? Part of it is simple incentive structure. If you're a rival team or fan base and Argentina beats you, you have two options. Admit you lost to a better team, or say the whole thing was fixed. One of those options protects your ego. Guess which one wins on social media? Part of it is also just Messi fatigue. He's closing in on 40 years old, and he's still doing things that shouldn't be possible for a player his age. When the human brain can't process how someone is still this good, the easiest shortcut isn't he's just great, it's something outside of football must be helping him. That's not a football take, that's a psychological one, but it explains a lot of what we're about to look at.
Egypt were robbed and the World Cup is rigged. I cannot believe what I've just watched. The only way to beat corruption, Tina, is cleanly and convincing. The Egyptian players are witnessing corruption in real time whilst on the pitch. Of course they're going to lose their minds. It's so blatant, it stings. The game's gone.
And there's a financial layer too. Outrage clips get pushed harder by every algorithm on Earth. A calm, correct explanation of an offside rule gets 100 views. FIFA rigged it again gets 1 million. So even accounts with zero history of talking about football have started posting about corrupt World Cup officiating because it's free engagement, not because they watch the game. Keep that in mind as we go through the actual incidents, because none of them hold up once you slow the tape down.
FIFA's rigged for Messi. No, it's not. Yes, it is, bro. Have you not seen the games recently? No, I haven't. Messi threw a player to the ground and the ref completely ignored it, but called the foul for him immediately after. I mean, it was shoulder to shoulder, and it looks like that player is just weak. Well, how about when the ref let Messi move the ball away from the spot the free kick was originally given? Bro, players do that all the time and get away with it. It's not...
Argentina won this one 3-0. Messi scored a hat trick. And somehow, the biggest story afterward was a tackle he made around the half-hour mark on Algerian defender Issa Mandi. The Algerian Federation filed an official complaint, arguing Messi should have been sent off and that officials were protecting him. Here's what actually happened on the replay. Messi slides in, his studs aren't raised, there's no real speed behind the tackle, and Mandi's own leg comes down into the path of the slide as he's stepping forward. It looks nastier in real time than it is in slow motion, which is exactly the kind of challenge that gets a yellow card under the laws of the game, not a red. The distinction matters here. A reckless challenge is a yellow. A red requires excessive force, endangering the opponent, or a genuinely dangerous lunge. This didn't meet that bar, and VAR can't upgrade a missed yellow into a red after the fact. That's not how the protocol works. So even if you think the ref should have carded it in the moment, VAR stepping in afterward was never on the table. And here's the part that gets ignored. Worse fouls happened in that same tournament and got zero attention. There was a stamp in another match that left a player bleeding and it wasn't even booked. There was an ankle stomp in a different game that wasn't called a foul at all. Nobody made a single video about those. The outrage only shows up when Messi's name is attached, which tells you the anger was never really about foul consistency. It was about him.
2-0 win, Argentina through to the knockouts. And again, the result wasn't the story. Austria's manager was furious after the match, claiming there was a foul in the build-up to the opening goal. Watch the replay back, and it's a completely legal challenge. Two players competing for the same ball, shoulder to shoulder, no push, no trip, no lunge, just one player using his body to shield possession, which is allowed under the laws of the game as long as there's no excessive force.
When a goal was scored, there were no replays shown for the possible foul. However, the possible reason why VAR did not intervene here is because they didn't see this as a clear and obvious mistake by the referee to play on. So they did not see this as a 100% foul by McAllister. So that's why VAR did not intervene in this situation.
The referee had a clear, unobstructed view of the contact and made an instant call that it was fair. VAR only intervenes on a clear and obvious error, and there wasn't one here, so there was nothing to review. This is the pattern you'll notice through this whole video. A manager loses, gets emotional in the post-match interview, points at one contentious moment, and that one moment becomes proof the whole match was fixed, even when the letter of the law says the decision was correct.
This game produced 3 separate complaints, so let's take them one at a time. Complaint 1, a delayed whistle after a foul on Messi. This is just the advantage rule working exactly as designed. The referee doesn't blow the whistle instantly. He waits a second to see if the attacking team can keep the move going. Once it's clear there's no advantage, he brings it back and awards the free kick. That's not a delay to help anyone, that's the rulebook. Complaint 2, Messi taking a free kick quickly, before the goalkeeper had fully set his wall. Listen to the audio, and the referee's whistle comes before Messi takes it, right as the keeper is already standing in position, signaling for play to resume. If the keeper then keeps adjusting himself in the wall after that whistle, that's on the keeper, not the officials. Quick restarts are legal, and have always been legal. Ask literally any fullback who's ever taken a fast corner or throw-in to catch a defense napping. Nobody calls that corrupt when it happens in the Premier League. Complaint 3, only 3 minutes of stoppage time added at the end of extra time. The 3 minutes had elapsed. Could the referee have played on a little longer at his own discretion? Sure. But playing the allotted time and then blowing the whistle isn't rigging, it's just a referee doing the baseline of his job. None of these 3 moments involve a broken rule. They involve people who don't like the outcome, going looking for something, anything to point at.
This is the big one, because Argentina went down 2-0 with under 25 minutes left and somehow won 3-2. When a team collapses from that position, accusations were always going to follow. But let's separate the emotion from the actual decisions. The disallowed goal. Egypt thought they'd scored. VAR chalked it off. Here's why. Right at the start of that counter-attacking move, before Egypt ever broke away, one of their players pulled an Argentine shirt and stepped on his foot to win the ball back. Because Argentina never regained possession after that foul, the entire move, all the way to the eventual goal, counts as one continuous attacking phase under VAR protocol. That is precisely the kind of situation VAR exists to catch, a foul in the build-up that directly leads to a goal. You can call it a soft free kick if you want. Soft doesn't mean incorrect. The penalty appeal. Late in the game, there was minor shirt contact inside the box during a corner. It was brief. It didn't stop the opponent from competing for the ball, and if that gets given as a penalty, then genuinely every single corner kick in football becomes a penalty, because that kind of grabbing happens in literally every box on every set piece. You can't selectively enforce that standard only when it's convenient. The Salah comparison. People tried to draw an equivalence with a moment where Salah went down under minimal contact. Different situation entirely. Salah loses the ball fairly, is already off balance, and trips over his own momentum more than any contact from the defender.
His own teammates didn't even appeal for it in real time, which is usually the clearest tell that nothing happened. And here's the accountability piece that got buried. Egypt's manager had also called a completely different tournament rigged against his team in an earlier competition, when they lost on penalties elsewhere. That's not a one-off reaction to Argentina specifically. That's a pattern of blaming officiating any time his team loses, regardless of opponent or competition.
Rewind to the earlier tournament that started all of this, and the biggest complaint was a handball near the halfway line that people insisted deserved a yellow card. Under the actual law, a deliberate handball only requires a card if it stops a promising attack, breaks up a dangerous counter, or is used to gain a clear tactical advantage. In that moment, there was a defender right behind. No space, no dangerous transition. So, no card was required. That's not a loophole for one player. That's the same standard applied to everyone. And people conveniently skip over the penalties that went the other way in the final. If officials were trying to hand the trophy over no matter what, awarding the opposition 2 separate penalties, both converted, makes 0 sense. You don't script a guaranteed win and then give the other team 2 spot kicks in the same match. Selective memory is doing a lot of work in this conspiracy. Here's the part that actually annoys me the most. When one particular striker scores penalties, the narrative is ice cold, elite, born for the big moment. When Messi scores penalties, a player who's genuinely missed a fair few in his career, suddenly it's the game's rigged. They wanted him to score. Same action, same stakes, completely different framing depending on who's taking the kick. And if the tournament really was fixed that easily, ask yourself the obvious question. Why stop at just helping one team survive close calls?
Why not go all the way and engineer the most marketable final possible? The 2 biggest icons of the sports generation head-to-head on the biggest stage available. If organizers genuinely had that level of control, that's the final they'd have built. They didn't because they can't, because none of this is actually being engineered in the first place. Strip away the conspiracy talk, and what's left is a team that had to survive extra time and a penalty shootout to get past one opponent, and then had to overcome one of the greatest individual performances in the tournament's history from a rival striker in the final. Nothing about that path was handed to them. It was earned across 90-plus minutes, multiple times, against teams that came extremely close to ending the run. The "it's rigged" narrative isn't really about referees or VAR protocol at all. It's a way to avoid saying, "we got beaten," or "we made mistakes under pressure." It's easier to blame a system than to blame missed chances, defensive errors, or a bad tactical read. That's not a football analysis. That's a coping mechanism with a hashtag attached. That's it for this one. Ball Archive breaking down every rigged World Cup claim, decision by decision, so you don't have to take some random comment section's word for it. If you want the full breakdown on any single one of these calls, let me know in the comments and I'll go deeper. Like the video if this cleared things up, subscribe if you want more of these breakdowns, and I'll catch you in the next one. This has been Ball Archive.